Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. It's Saturday. That means we're back at the movies for another review. And because we're in the midst of Halloween season, we got to keep the horror movie train rolling. And what better way than with 1988's classic Child's Play, directed by Tom Holland, starring Catherine Hicks, Alex Vincent, Chris Sarandon, and the legend himself, Brad Dourif, who has now voiced Chucky for almost 35 years. I have to call it a classic because, when you're thinking about the Mount Rushmore of movie killers, you're gonna have your Freddys, you're gonna have your Jasons, you're gonna have your Leatherfaces, Pinhead, I guess, even though I wouldn't put him in the same category as them. He's more of a demon. Um, but then Chucky's got to be on there as well. I mean, he's iconic. 35 years, multiple movies. Last time it was seven movies in the original timeline, one crappy remake, and now they're on season 2 of a TV show that is actually fucking phenomenal. He's a legend. And to be honest with you, the original movie doesn't hold up as well over time. The older you get, it's it's still great to watch. It's still a fun watch, but it's very silly in a lot of its plot development, but it's still like always will hold a place in my heart. I used to be deathly afraid of Chucky. I had a Cabbage Patch doll when I was a kid that as soon as I saw this movie, I no longer had a Cabbage Patch doll that looked just like Chucky. So, anyways, for those of you who are familiar with the movie, notorious mass murderer or serial killer rather, Charles Lee Ray is on the run from the police. He gets shot by Chris Sarandon's character, and he winds up in a toy store. He has learned voodoo from an associate of his, and he's able to transfer his soul into the spirit of a doll, a good guy doll. And naturally, now that, Charles Lee Ray is dead, everything seems to be over with. This doll makes an appearance, and, he winds up in the hands of a young child named Andy Barclay, played by Alex Vincent. And you don't see any movement from the doll. You don't see anything suspicious from the doll. And then all of a sudden, the people around Andy start to die. And you come to find out that the doll is Charles Lee Ray. And he has actually told Andy his secret. And the thing is the voodoo ritual, which this changes over the course of the other movies, he has to now pass his soul into the first person he told his secret to, which is a 5 or 6 year old kid. I can't remember exactly how old Andy was. I think he was 5. So he now has to possess Andy's soul, and every time he gets close to doing it, something happens. And then they add in this twist that the longer he stays in the doll, the more the doll becomes human and he can no longer transfer his soul. So it's a fun, entertaining movie, and when you're younger, it's obviously going to be more scary. Maybe not for today's youth, but I remember when it first came out, I was terrified of it. And it's silly in a lot of ways, but it's still a fun ride to go on. Andy, basically becoming an untrustworthy kid to the people around him, because how could this little doll kill anybody? And that's what makes it fun, is the developing the growth of the doll into becoming who he was before he transferred his soul, and the lack of trust that comes with this 5-year-old boy. And it culminates in a showdown in the apartment of the boy and his mother and the cop who killed Charles Lee Ray. it culminates in that showdown, and it's silly. But it's fun, and that's what this movie is. It's fun. It's still an iconic movie for just what it is, but it's not scary, anymore. Again, for the newer generation of kids, it's probably not going to be scary. It was when I was a kid, but it's still fun to watch. And, I got to be a little biased. It's probably not even worth being in the sevens, but I'm going to give it a 7.1 just because of the legacy behind the character. So, again, it's probably a movie that deserves to be in the sixes in that it's fine, but, you know, it's one of those movies that I'm going to bump it into the low sevens just because of its history and what it means to me. So, Child's Play, 1988, directed by Tom Holland, gets a 7.1. That's my review. Who knows? You guys can drop a comment down below what movies you want me to review that, scary movies, movies related to horror movies, Halloween, whatever you want. Drop it in the comments down below, and maybe I'll get to it before Halloween. Until then, I'll see you guys next time at the movies. Take care.